Listen, Hunter Biden is not Joe Biden, and there's no connection, and the Republicans keep trying to make that connection. It's like they come up with a narrative, and then they want to find facts that support that narrative.
What if, what if we do find facts, Scott? You know, they're insisting that they're digging, and at that point, there will be a connection. That's what they say, to be fair. They haven't proven that yet.
But that's a big
that
maybe.
Changes things.
That's
so
conjecture.
Is that a game changer for you if they could show a quid pro quo with the father and the son?
Well, that would be of concern whether you're looking at a Republican president or a Democratic president. But after 5 years and Republican prosecutors being given full sway in regard to this investigation, he's a special prosecutor now, and the Republicans just won't accept that Merrick Garland stayed out of this, kept the Republican prosecutor on, appointed by Trump, stayed out of it, and they continue to investigate. They continue to put pressure on Weiss, and now they've prosecuted Hunter Biden for guns. Maybe taxes, but nothing else. There's no there. At some point in time, you're thinking this is going to be Benghazi 2, where they spent millions of dollars on an investigation of Hillary Clinton and came up with absolutely nothing. This feels and sounds the same way.
Sort of like what Democrats did to prove the Russian collusion in 2016, right? So let me ask you. Let me ask you about this, Scott. We don't know which way this is going, and that's fair. But the one thing that has come up is that things that did not look to be issues suddenly became issues. Tax issues that we didn't think Hunter Biden had, he most certainly had. Now, whether they connect to his dad, you're quite right. That is the gazillion-dollar, impact question here. But this idea that Hunter Biden might have used his father or used his influence to further his own business interests. Let's say the president, that was totally unbeknownst to him. What do you make of that?
Well, I think that's Hunter Biden's problem. He was a drug addict. He's made some bad decisions. He's done some bad things. But his name is still Hunter Biden, not Joe Biden. And this whole idea that you got to, they're gonna have an idea that Joe had to know about this. Joe did this. Right. We want to see bank accounts without any probable cause or hard facts to support that Joe Biden did anything wrong is wrong in and of itself and problematic. You cannot start an investigation, whether it's legislative or whether it's an impeachment proceeding or even a state or federal investigation, because you say, I think Joe Biden's bad. I want to distract the American public from the 91 federal charges of Trump, and so let's investigate him. Let's find out what he did.
We see that a lot on both sides. I don't want to get into tit for tat. I try not to play this on this show. But Scott, I am curious of one thing that has come up in some surveys concerning the president, his age. Democrats getting increasingly antsy about it. Americans in general not so sure he would even finish out a second term if he got it. Are you worried about that? Are you worried that he's appearing, more compromised health-wise than he was, and that this is an escalating issue?
Well, I get concerned when I'm on your show and other shows about talking about ageism or even the idea or concept that perhaps age discrimination is at play here vis-a-vis the voters, and because he looks old and he walks old. If he has the mental acuity, he's not zoning out.
But what if he doesn't? What if he doesn't have the mental acuity? Believe me, I don't like attacks on older people, too. There was a time when I wasn't old. Now I look in the mirror and I say, whoa, I got to be careful here. But do you worry that this becomes like an issue that gathers steam?
Yeah, I certainly do with Democrat and Republican voters, but I have seen recently that Joe Biden is now playing on and directly addressing the age of his age and his health as well, and making fun of himself, somewhat self-deprecating like Ronald Reagan did.
Yes.
I think that's exactly how he needs to approach it. But listen, here's the deal. He's got a legislative record to run on. He's mentally fit, and if he's got the mental acuity, he's got a right to run. And remember this, 95% of the Democrats are going to vote for Joe Biden if he's on the ballot. I don't care what they think about his age. They're going to vote the Democratic line, because if Donald Trump's on the other side, they certainly aren't going there. And 70% of independents aren't going to vote for Donald Trump.
Well,
so
we don't know. We don't know. Anything could happen. Well, they said that union guys wouldn't vote for Ronald Reagan and that independents wouldn't break for Ronald Reagan. So things change, right? But I'm old enough to remember both of those instances. What do you think of that?
Me too.
All right.
Me too.
You're the best, buddy. And then you state your case very well. Scott, good seeing you again. Be well.